everyone, welcome to my podcast, Food for Thought. Today we have yet another interesting guest with us, Aarti Masrani. Hi Aarti.
Hello.
Welcome to my channel.
Thank you so much. It's a pleasure.
Thank you. Aarti, just viewers for your information, Aarti is the founder of Happy Being Family, and it's very interesting concept. We'll learn more about it, but before that, we'll understand more about Aarti and your interest and how did this all start.
Yeah, so I guess first of all, thank you Uttara for this opportunity. It's a great platform to even share what I am, all about, and then my baby called Happy Being, of course. So yeah, I think to talk about me, my name is Aarti Masrani, and I've been in this beautiful country of Australia about 5 years now. Obviously my roots are from India, and over the years I've been in Gulf for a few years, and then happily got settled here. I've got lovely, sporty, handsome, I don't know what, but good looking boys, and they're very sporty and they're very loving and naughty. So the journey of motherhood actually has been amazing. And that's all about me, I guess, personally. Yeah, obviously to talk a bit about what I bring on the plate today is I'm an HR professional I've been into HR for many years, so always on the people side, almost about 15 years of experience being on the people space. And then I love playing sports since my early days as a child. I was always into sports, and you can call it so many, I can't even tick the boxes, but yeah, so many different kinds of sports. So I love playing cricket with my boys or otherwise as a child, soccer, tennis, table tennis, and believe me or not, I had more friends who were boys than girls. So it's just the way my molding has happened, and I always see that because of those kind of exposure as a something that I got everything, I thought that's really what has made me me. So I love sports. I'm a sports enthusiast, and I love I have this passion of bringing up and mentoring the youth of today, which is how Happy Being has come into being.
That's interesting. I like that whole transition from the HR, and also I like the fact that you said you were very sporty and a lot into it, and how that early grooming has really helped you and do what you're doing at the moment, right? That's and I see that, and that's why your kids are also into sports, and that again talks about and re-emphasizes the fact that what we as parents or what we as kids do, and as parents what we offer to our kids, the avenues, the broader avenues, rather than just believing that they are good at, say, a particular sport or a particular art, but giving that avenue to them actually grooms them into a personality which can adapt to various situations, learn various aspects of sports or activities as such. So that's very interesting. Could you just throw more light or emphasis as to how that early grooming is important? We all understand, thanks to social media, thanks to the exposure that we have these years as compared to what our parents have, wherein we say that 0 to 7 is extremely important, 7 to 14 or 16 is extremely again critical during the teen phase. But I think as parents we're still struggling to understand that. So if you could share some thoughts of yours.
I think coming from a psychology side of the background, let me put it in a very simple way. I think what's most important is to understand that every person, not just the child, but every person, you, me, or anyone, we have our own innate qualities, right? And you give certain exposure or not, that innate qualities will actually try to bloom somewhere now or later. I feel, and this is my theory of looking at things, and I think it has worked wonderful, at least with many students that I have worked with. when you try and understand the person's innate qualities and their strengths, and how that personality or the character is, and you try and mold that according to their requirements, that's the best parenting that you can ever give. It's not really what I want to achieve out of my child, or what is something that I think. It's basically the understanding that, okay, if he or she has an interest in certain things, and there are many ways to bloom that and build up that strengths within them, but it's more importantly how you as a parent able to understand your child and what kind of exposure is going to help them live their life to the full potential. And I think once that is achieved, they'll be happy. That's the goal we want. First of all, let them be happy. The moment they are happy, they will give their best in anything that they're trying to achieve. Yeah? So I think that's the philosophy also, what I have tried to instill in our programs. But that's how I come from and I see things happening.
Great. Thanks for that, Aarti. And the other question that crops up is, not all parents are fortunate enough to put the kids and enroll them in different activities. It could be maybe, sometimes it could be related to finances, sometimes it could be just a time constraint, or with the pressure of academics, that might not be possible. So to such parents, if they had to kind of do something that they can work on at home, through the help of school, any smaller tips that you could probably give us?
I think first of all, that idea of trying to achieve everything is not something that I support. I think what we got to, again, as I said, is trying to give, especially at home, that environment where the child is able to be himself. That's important. An environment where there is a lot of judgment and expectations, that's not something that's going to help the child flourish at all.
Right.
Imagine we were in those situations where we were actually kind of being corrected on everything that we did, or kind of had a judgment, parents giving us judgments, oh, why did you do that, and I don't think this is right and all. I don't think that's really going to help. And unfortunately, I see that happening in a lot of parenting styles nowadays. But that's just one of the most important tips I would say would be just understand the child and let them make mistakes. Let them actually learn from their mistakes. In terms of the exposure, I would say, early childhood is all about giving them that critical mindset, making them work around their own creativity, imagination. And that's what our program actually caters to as well. Just trying to understand and giving them the platform to be themselves without the element of judgment. We give a lot of care and attention to what they want to do, but yet in a way mold them to be their best. Through, of course, different activities. Is when you call it personality development, the signature program that we have, it's not necessarily just kind of a very boring one version of the program. We actually cater it to different styles of the kids, especially the youth and the teenagers of today. So we actually cater it to their requirement. We've got a lot of brainstorming, group discussions. But having said that, please do so at home. I think that's another tip that I would have. Talk to them, communicate to them, brainstorm with them. That's something that I would suggest.
Great, thanks, Aarti. And yes, of course, parenting, we find it very tricky, especially these days, with growing technology and all that avenues kids have, the exposure that they have. So we, as I've said before, we do have exposure to the social media wherein we have so much of information out there, but it's also important to talk to parents like you, coaches like you, in terms of seeking that tips, and every single tip could just make a difference to each of our families. So thanks for that, Aarti, and I'd love to know more about the Happy Being Family. So do our viewers. But viewers, what we'll do is meet Aarti in the next episode, where we'll learn more about her program and how the journey of Happy Being Family started. So stay tuned. Talk to you soon. Bye.
Bye. Thank you.